Hello, and welcome to another episode of American History Shorts. I'm Robert Fail, and today we're going to be talking about the American Revolution, specifically the Battle of Yorktown. This was a very historic battle for many reasons. This was the last major battle of the war, and after the British finally opened up negotiations with the Americans and the French. Mr. McPhail. What is it, me from the past? But a lot of people died after that battle. Yes, but it was the last major battle. Bruh. The battle was not exactly ideal for the British from the start. Their main army under General Cornwallis were in retreat. Their much flaunted war for the South had been going south for the British. While they won pretty much every battle, Nathaniel Greene, the general for the Southern forces under the Continental Army, had been inflicting massive casualties each time and retreating towards the north. Cornwallis was running out of men to fight his battle, so he came with the genius plan of retreating his forces to a coastal town and waiting for reinforcements. However, this meant that if his reinforcements didn't come, he'd be crushed by the combined American-French army. Sadly, they did send an army, commanded by none other than George Washington and some French guys named Rochambeau and Lafayette. Also, Washington had support in the form of soldiers blocking off Cornwallis' reinforcements from saving the helpless general. So, let's go to the thinky sphere. Here we see General George Washington and some of his men gathering outside of Yorktown. And you see the horse with the helmet now. And the men gather tools and building the fort. Building the fort. Building the fort. And one of the really cool things about this fort was that General Washington was one of the first to start working. And one of the last to stop. Here comes General George Washington and his men to inspect their new fort. Here we have this humble city of Yorktown. There in red with the Darth Vader helmet is General Cornwallis, and his superior in gray and black with the stormtrooper hat is Henry Clinton. Remember that now. These were the commanders of the British Army in Yorktown, surveying the soldiers and awaiting reinforcements. And here we have the sketchy stormtroopers preparing to fortify their town. Building the fort. 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 Here we have the French and British ships battling, and down goes the British. Here we have the infamous battle cry of George Washington. I'll feed you! What's that? It's time for the what letter? So I have to read a document from the past, which relates to Yorktown, and I have no idea about it before, and I have to guess who wrote it. And if I don't, I have to eat this stuff, which is apparently anchovy paste. That's what they say. It's from Canada. My dearest, I am within a few minutes of leaving this city. I cannot think of departing from it without dropping you a line, especially as I do not know whether it may be in my power to write again until I get to the camp at Boston. I go fully trusting in that Providence, which has been more bountiful to me than I deserve, and in full confidence of a happy meeting with you sometime in the fall. I have not time to add more, as I am bounded with company to take leave of me. I retain a considerable affection for you, which neither time nor distance can change. My best love to Jack and Nellie, and regard for the rest of the family concludes me with the utmost truth, and sincerity. Based on these facts at hand, I'm gonna guess Cornwallis. Well then, since I got it wrong, I guess it's time to eat this thing. It's Canadian though. Ah! Oh, that actually tastes terrible. Oh. No more. We're done here. So this battle was really crippling for the British, for about 7,500 were captured, about 250 killed, next to 88 killed for the continental side. Are you sure those numbers are right, friend? Oh, okay. This also encouraged the French, who were losing interest in the war, and it reinvigorated the struggling morals of the Americans. After this was clear who would win the war, and it was really a defining battle. It shaped the world with the US on top and the British below because of this crippling loss. This is also considered to be the real kicker of the Revolutionary War. Losing 7,000 troops was also a huge blow to the British movement worldwide. Britain were fighting a lot of wars in other places around the world, such as India and Spain. As you can see, thanks to this loss, there was a huge loss of momentum across the world, not just in America, but in other places in the world. If we look into history, we can see that it was the end of this war, not just the end of this battle, that was the real victory for American independence. This strengthened the freedom revolution of the world, destroying the systematic colonization that would transform everyone. That is, except for the Republicans. And this will lead to a greater change in the world. That's a topic we'll touch on in a later video, so stay tuned with American History Shorts with me, Rob McPhail. Join us next month when Miss White gives us a new project so we'll talk about something else. Probably.